Page 16, We Three Kings of Orient are. On page 17, they got more stocking stuffers, more sight reading for you to do. And there are other activities on these stocking stuffer things, and I don't go through it in the lessons. I just give a lesson on the music, but if you have any questions on the stocking stuffers, you're welcome to ask. I want to talk about this Kings thing. I look it over first. I see it's about 5 lines long. It's got repeats in it, so we'll talk about the repeats a little later. I see treble and bass clef at the beginning. I see half notes and quarter notes and dotted half notes. All right. Now, for the most part, we're only playing one hand at a time. When I look through it, occasionally you get both hands together, but not very often. So to shorten this video up, I'm going to take both hands at the same time. Normally, I just do the right hand, figure it out, and then I do the left hand, figure it out, and then try and put them together, which is like starting over sometimes. But here, I'm going to try and do both hands together. So the right hand at the beginning is third finger on E, and I assume you know the names of the notes in the music. So I cover all that stuff in the method book stuff. And then the left hand, when it comes in, is third finger on A here. So we're middle C position. And it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, that's fine. Don't see any problems in there. Let's go down to, it's the last line on page 16. Third measure over, or measure 16. You have a G and a B together, and that's tied. You're going to hold those down for 2 measures. And the next measure, you're going to add the D to them. So now you got 3 notes down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then when we go on, we get the chord in the left hand. You just lift up and move down. Just practice this. You need to get the notes down at the same time, if you can. And the left or right hand just playing that from here to here. Do the best you can on that. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then the left hand comes up on the next measure. 2, 3, 1, 2. Now your left hand's down here. And now I want you to move up to the A. I suggest you don't move the hand, just move the thumb up. This is top of page 17. Just move the thumb up, because then you can move the hand down, because we went the C chord again. I don't want to be moving back and forth. I'm going to keep the hand here. I'm just going to move the thumb to cover 2 notes. This is quite common in piano, so it's no big deal. And even at the last line, let's start with measure 30. You're here. Again, just move the thumb up. Although here, technically, it doesn't make any difference because you're done. If you want to move the hand up here, that's up to you. But I generally just move the thumb up. I can feel this pretty well, and I want to be able to feel my way around the keyboard, so I can just do that. So once I have the notes and rhythms and all figured out, and the fingering, then I go through carefully and I get rid of any hesitations. So it's a steady beat throughout. And then I add the articulation. The phrasing, connect it. And then lift up between the phrases. It's not like taking a breath. So at measure 18 or 17, when you're here, and you go on to measure 18, just lift up both hands. Just a little lift, not a big lift, just a little lift. It's like taking a breath. You're cutting measure 17 just a little bit short, so you got time to do that, because measure 18's got to be on the beat. You can pretend there's a slur line in the music between measures 18 and 21. In other words, connect this. Connect all that together. I don't know why they didn't slur it, but it is. It's a phrase. Same thing at measure 30. Connect that all the way to the end of the piece. And once I have the articulation out of the way, I think about the dynamics. At the beginning, it's MF, it's mezzo forte. Sort of loud. Not loud, just sort of loud. And that's the melody, although this is all melody here. Whatever you think sort of loud is, even though you're using 2 hands to play that, it should sound like one hand played the whole thing. Then when you get down to measure 18, you get an F for forte, and that's the melody. The melody here is in the right hand. This chord needs to stay in the background. We want to hear this. Don't play in the same, because 3 notes, I'll drown out 1 note easily. And so make sure this is sort of a soft and this is loud. Of course, the left hand plays loud when it's melody. And then measure 26, come back down to moderately loud. And in measure 30, that left hand's got to be soft now. We want to hear the right hand. Until here, again, you have to bring out those notes because those are melody. Now these repeats, let's talk about these. The first line is repeated. They put repeat up there. That's just to remind you. The repeat sign tells you to repeat. So you're going to play the first line twice. And then bottom of the page, on page 16, the last 2 measures, you see it has an 18 and a 20. Those are measure numbers. So the first time you play it, it's measure 18. And then when you repeat it, you repeat back to the reverse repeat sign, and now it's measure 22. It keeps it straight. The note at the top of page 17 to repeat from measure 18, you don't need that. The repeat sign tells you to repeat back to the reverse repeat sign, and that's what you're doing. It helps because there's a duet for this, and when you're practicing or playing with another person, you might want to start somewhere in the middle, and this way you can just agree on a measure number. So you might say, let's start on measure 22. Well, you'll know, okay, that's there at the bottom of page 16, but it's the second time you've played it, measure 22. And so you know where you are. Each person has their own measure numbers. It comes in handy. Measure numbers aren't so important if it's just a piece you're playing by yourself. But when you're playing with other people, measure numbers really help. As far as the speed goes, I've heard this at all kinds of speeds. Just smoothly. If you were going to sing it, how I've heard it go real slow. I wouldn't go too slow on a piano. It doesn't work very well. But on another instrument, you can get away, or singing it, you can get away with going slower if you want. However, in my opinion, I don't think this really needs to go slow. And it's not real fast. Well, no, it's not what kings do. You have to be kind of majestic about this. And it doesn't slow down at the end. Just keep it going all the way to the end. The last note is 3 counts and lift up. That's close enough. A lot of people would slow down at the end to let people know we're about done now. Yeah. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. The louds and soft will do everything about the same. We're just checking notes and rhythms. We're not performing it, but I am going to do the repeats. So I'll give us 3 counts because it's in 3/4 time. 1, ready, go. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 2. 2. Repeat. 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. 2. 2, 1, 2, 3, off. There's a duet for this at the bottom of the page 16. I'd like to do that, and you do what we just did. We'll speed it up a little bit. And again, I need you to go up on the keyboard. So just pretend the middle C instead of here on the keyboard is up here. And pretend that this is middle C. So instead of here, you're up here. Up. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go.